Alright everyone, welcome back again to more Trails Through Daybreak. Let's take a few moments to take in this wonderful new background menu we have for the final chapter. I gotta say, I'm loving it so far. We're already on our way to making it through the midpoint of the game, or midpoint of the last chapter, and a lot's going on, guys. A lot's going on, and it's all leading into the most important last half of the game, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So, if anything else, hope you're all ready. Thank you all for the love and support. And let's get ready to do this.
I am Bearguard Zeman, though I was once known by another name. I see you have brought quite a number of fledglings under your wing, Van. Very interesting.
Not as interesting as the dead man who's back from the grave. Mind sharing how you managed that?
That is a very long story. Another time, perhaps. Hard to believe it's already been 5 years. Even harder to believe you're the same troublemaker I once knew. And that those same words of wisdom would come from your mouth, no less. I see you are living in accordance with your own principles.
Please, I didn't do anything. I just echoed the words of a much wiser man. Is my man being bashful? Never thought I'd see the day. It's certainly a rare sight. It's rather cute, to be honest. Shove it. Well, you did do a good job putting Marielle at ease. Yes, I think you helped her regain some of her old spirit.
I'm so sorry for all the trouble I caused you. I'm such an idiot. I just got tunnel vision and let myself get all carried away. Dingo always warned me about this. But look at me. I haven't learned a thing.
Marielle.
Well, I ain't gonna tell you not to push the envelope. That's in a reporter's job description. Just make sure you don't forget what Dingo said. Think about what you can do and what you want to do. You'll find a clue on how to move forward in the gap between the two.
You used to tell me that a lot back when we first met. As long as you don't stop thinking, there's gonna be a way to bridge that gap. You just gotta find it. We're working on this last request right now. We won't be able to do it alone, but we're planning to make up for our shortcomings with help from others. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if that brought us to you before long. We need help from more than shady folks. So keep your head high. Let's all do the jobs we're best for. If nothing else, then to prove his words right.
Right. I don't know how much of a contribution I'll be able to make, but I'll start being more mindful of my cans and wants, and I'll do it while finding a way to move forward.
Those words were quite touching, very befitting of you, and Mr. Brad. Yeah, they resonated deeply with me as well. Thinking about the gap between what I can do and what I want to do is an interesting thought experiment, if nothing else. Huh. Can we please move on from this topic? Oh yeah, I should let my employees introduce themselves. Agnes, you go first. Gladly, my name is... Wow, that's quite a history. Honestly, I had trouble keeping up with it all. So you are among the 12 knights who led the church's Growlsritter? I've heard much about your various exploits, Roaring Lion. It's a famous name in a lot of circles, so it's not surprising.
Once again, that name is no longer mine. I would ask that you keep that in mind.
Now we know why we passed you on the way to Longlai. So you arranged our invitation there, and I'm guessing a few others played the part in that as well? Namely Professor Hamilton, Heyoa's future elder, the Crown Prince of Elsheim, and former President Rocksmith, am I correct?
Bullseye. I happen to be acquainted with all of them, including the Grand Prince of Elsheim and Elder Guillen. The former president was anxious to make your acquaintance, and I believe meeting him would prove to be beneficial for your future. Though it pains me that a well-intentioned invitation coincided with such a horrific tragedy.
Hey, it's not like you could have seen that one coming. Even if we hadn't been in Longlai, we would have been powerless to stop it regardless. Yeah, the only one who could have foretold that would be the goddess herself. Anyway, I knew you'd gotten off the Empire after you finished training me 5 years ago. Then I heard you bit the dust during a border dispute in Nord. They said you laid down your life protecting one of your students. But here you are, alive and well. You cheated death and carried on living, just without your title and mark. Won't pry into what you've been doing all these years, but can you at least tell me why you never contacted me?
Before I answer, I should note that you were not the only one in the dark. I did not reach out to my other students either, and I never intended to do so. I wanted you all to walk your own paths, and I intended to leave my survival a secret, a trump card that I could pull out in the wake of a crisis.
Guessing you figured it was time to play that card then, to help us with this crisis?
Correct. I have news regarding the Mafia Almada and the assassins of the Gardens. Their whereabouts were discovered several hours ago.
What? Where?
Almada's leader and executives, as well as the Garden's overseers, have established a new base, and it is located in a city within this very country. What's more, that information has been passed around to all the major players in this nation.
Wait, all of them? Guess that means the army, the police, and the guild are all in the know. I assume Heiwa and the other Jaeger Corps are also aware of this new base?
Yes. I imagine they are all preparing to take action at this very moment. This country's supreme authority is no exception. They have resolved to quell the unfolding chaos. And they will do so by any means necessary, even if that involves fighting one evil with another.
So that's what Gian was talking about earlier. I'm sure many Jaeger Corps will be all over this, my people included. Marduk HQ will likely be making their move as well. You can't be serious. All of these groups are going to flood the city at once? So, where do you stand in all this, Master? By the sounds of it, these people are going to try and capture Almada alive, or go after their heads. Some might even be aiming to get their grubby little hands on one of those nuclear devices. That would be really bad. Granted, I don't know how likely that is, just having one of those things would make you public enemy number one. It ain't a stretch though. There's plenty of historical precedent for groups using artifacts as weapons. So, given the stakes, what do you plan to do?
As it stands, I am effectively dead. If the people of my former home decide to act, I will not join them, nor stand in their way. However, now that the gift of life has been bestowed upon me once more, I intend to honor it by supporting the youths whose futures are so bright, and also to keep them safe from venomous fiends like these unwanted guests of yours.
Uh-oh. What? Hey, we're busy in here. Afraid you'll have to come back another day.
That's so. What a shame. And after we came all this way to give you a job. And a little souvenir from your reporter friend.
Fine. Get in here.
Knew that'd reel you in. Thanks, bud.
Do excuse us.
Oh, the French girl. I recognize you two. It's the shady duo from the nightclub in Tharbad. I also met you back in Longlai.
Oh, you recognized me after all?
Nice to finally meet you all, ladies and gentlemen of Arkride Solutions. Oh, now there's a face I never thought I'd see again.
Oh, neither did I. Tell me, what's a dead man doing out of his coffin?
I was granted life once more, and I don't need to tell you the reason why, because you already know.
No need to give us the death glare, you old fossil. We've traded many friendly blows in the past, haven't we? Why don't we bury the hatchet? Let's be like the Jaegers. Embrace yesterday's foe as today's friend.
I'm afraid I'll have to decline. Had the Azure Abyss or the Elite Steel Maiden made the suggestion, I would have entertained the thought. Not for you, though. Never in a million years.
He's got your number, dear. No one will ever reconcile with you. And for that, you've no one to blame but yourself.
You're on thin ice. But your words are laced with the truth, venomous though they are.
I get it now. You're the guy the Direwolf and Ren warned us about. You're part of Ouroboros then, and one of their highest ranking members at that.
The name's Elroy Harwood. I'm the fourth Anguis. But you can just call me the Oathbreaker. Everyone does.
I am Enforcer number 3, Lucrezia Isolir. I'm delighted to make your acquaintance, Arkwright Solutions.
Hey, put that away. This is a smoke-free building.
Really now? Very well. I promise I won't smoke in here. Ooh, accidentally went and made an oath there. And I can't afford to keep those. I've got a reputation and a title to uphold, you see. Gotta break an oath or two from time to time.
From time to time. You break oaths and rules as easily as you breathe.
True, true.
Ugh.
Anyway, on to business. I want you to go on a little trip for me.
Are you for real? You're joking.
What? You're not up for it? Strange. I thought I heard you took work from anyone.
Yeah, if the work's reasonable. And if I like you. And your likability going up in smoke faster than the tobacco in that cigar. I know you guys are after Armada. Hell, you probably know where they are at too. But before we ask where that is, I need to know why you've come to us.
You gotta be kidding me. Do I really gotta spell it out? It's 'cause you kids will make things way more fun.
Fun? How can you even say that? There's nothing fun about this whole ordeal. Don't waste your energy on this guy. He isn't someone you can appeal to with logic and reason.
The Society's already decided its course of action for this whole thing, and I'm leading the charge. Enforcer number 3 will be backing me up, and so will Enforcer number 8, who you already know so well. The goal's to round up the members of Armada and the Gardens, and murder every last one of them.
I see. And you ain't doing so in the name of justice, I'm guessing?
Nope. Had they kept to their little dog and pony shows, we wouldn't lay a finger on them. Honestly, I rather enjoyed kicking back and watching them wreak havoc. But they've become a threat to our plans now, and we can't have that. If those little bugs want to punch above their weight, then we'll crush them beneath our feet.
Though no doubt it will be easier said than done. They're both troublesome and insidious, and some rather formidable guests will be joining their party.
Right. You will have some fierce competition.
Everyone's got different aims here. Some want them brought to justice. Some want them dead and buried. Heiyue will surely be joining the fray, And I'll bet the Jaeger Corps will be after their bounty. I'm guessing Marduk HQ will be there too, yeah?
More than likely. The guild won't stand idly by either. Same goes for the Growlsritter. Artifacts are involved in this after all. And I wouldn't be surprised if other forces from the church showed up as well.
All right. You got students in other parts of the church, not just the Growlsritter. Things are gonna get interesting then. Must be tough being a master. I don't envy you.
If that is what fate has in store, then I'll follow it. You need to concern yourself with me.
Regardless, that should serve as the basic overview of the situation. Almada and the gardens will not be the only sources of mischief in that city. One wrong move and the whole affair could turn into an indiscriminate bloodbath. So someone ought to keep an eye on the little guys, don't you think?
In other words, civilians might get killed and you aren't going to look after them. You guys are scum. Still, if Almada really does have another nuclear weapon in their possession, we have no other choice but to get involved.
You can use whatever justification you want. I don't really care why you join, just so long as you do. Because if you don't, this whole thing will be a snooze cruise from start to finish. I need you kiddos to prevent this battle from being too one-sided.
The hell do you mean by that?
The Guild's the only one in this brawl that's going to be fighting for the common man. If we add you to the mix, however, it'll make for a more balanced blend. A recipe that's made for chaos. Oh, and should you happen to run into us, I'd like you to come at me knives out, and ready to cut me into a million little pieces. I'm very much into that sort of thing.
Huh, you are one masochistic bastard. Well, we've got our reason for chasing Almada down, so I'm not opposed to doing this on the side. But first, I need to get one thing straight. I have a hunch you guys have some connection to either Almada or the Gardens. So spill it. What kind of relationship does Ouroboros have with them?
Huh. Well, it isn't a close one, if that's what you're wondering. We haven't exactly been keeping in touch as of late. But your hunch is on point. We do have a connection with the Gardens.
You see, the two of us were once part of the Order of the Moonlight Horse, an organization of assassins. 14 years ago, Ouroboros destroyed the Order, but they extended a hand to the two of us and brought us into the fold. Although they did not do the same for many of its other members. The society is a small group of elites, and they only accept the best and brightest. Fortune had not abandoned them, however. Shortly after, another villainous group was nearly wiped out in a major operation. My companion here herded the lost sheep of both groups and let them form their own flock.
Wait, you don't mean...
Huh. Has it already been 14 years? Time sure flies when you're having fun. And the Society has offered me a wealth of entertainment.
From the data available to Marduk, there is only one operation that matches her story. I really hope it ain't the one I'm thinking of. Please tell me the group you're all talking about isn't...
It's exactly as you think. The DG cult. You know the ones. The devil worshippers that spread chaos across the Republic and the continent as a whole.
I can't believe they're back. No way, I've heard about those fiends from Chao. And I heard about them from my Grammy.
I brought the remnants of the Moonlight Horse and the DG cult together and set them loose on the world. That's how the Gardens were created. They find seeds that are scattered by the wind and grow them into fresh assassins that are ripe for the picking. Had I left them alone, the founding members would have rotted away, and their budding talent would have died on the vine. But by mixing the leftovers of the cult and the Order, I created a chemical reaction more potent than my wildest imagination could have conjured. I gave that one domino a little push. And look at all the tragedies and pain that befell the world.
How could you? So this is all your fault. I take back what I said earlier. You aren't just a masochistic bastard. You're also a sadistic monster.
Can't say you're wrong. My colleagues, like the Wellspring Alchemist and the Professor, never go far enough for my tastes. But that's humanity for you. No one's the same. We've all got our own desires that make us tick.
Yeah, and those things that make you tick just so happen to tick me off. I get what you want us to do, though. It also comes at the perfect time given Dingo's last request. Man, I don't like the idea of getting involved with these shitheads, but you might be right. So this gathering will include Marduk, Heiue, the Guild, and many other formidable groups. Low as I am to admit it, we may require their aid if we are to force our way inside. Surely there's another way. Yeah, I do not want to help a pair of cold-blooded killers.
Oh, you do not need to think of it as helping us. You may instead think of it as entering a mutually beneficial relationship, where our goal is simply to use one another for our own ends.
I can take charge of laying the groundwork for the requests you'll get at the city. Those will keep you plenty busy. I'll even throw in a couple that'll give you a real thrill.
As long as you don't slip a trap or two in them.
My. They really don't trust you, do they?
Anyway, sounds like we have ourselves a deal. Oh, almost forgot the other reason I came to this little office. Here's that souvenir I mentioned earlier.
Are you sure it's safe?
If you're worried about radiation, don't be. The professor, our technical expert, looked into the matter, and he found no traces of it whatsoever. The three disciples are probably racking their brains about that mystery this very moment.
There's no radioactive contamination, but all of the theories we have suggest... No, wait. Perhaps they don't apply because the bomb was detonated in a non-traditional manner. I'm so lost. Hang on a sec. You nabbed this camera before the authorities locked the scene down? Won't ask how you managed to get there ahead of the cops, because if I heard the answer, you'd be leaving this room with a big old black eye.
Ooh, scary.
It's in our hands now, Dingo.
Guess we'll be off. We wouldn't want to overstay our welcome now, would we? I can hardly wait to see how you and those relics of yours will liven things up.
He knows about the Genesis. I haven't got a clue what you're on about, so you're gonna tell us where we're going or not?
Why don't you ask the defanged lion? I've done enough talking for one day.
Well then, have a lovely rest of your day.
Oh, glad you were here, Master. I doubt I would have been able to keep my cool otherwise. Nonsense. You would have handled things just fine on your own. You held your ground well against them. You've grown to a fearless leader in my absence. I think you're giving me too much credit. Alright guys, I'm gonna ask that you all stay here. I'm going solo on this one. Huh? But why? Because it's too dangerous, this is their turf, and everyone there will be playing by their rules. There's no telling what'll happen there, and I can be a lot more flexible if I'm on my own. Oh, but I can make an exception for Master. I figure I'm gonna need his help at least. You figure right. That's precisely why I came in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I don't think of y'all as a burden. This is just the best division of labor. I'll need you to gather info, be the point of contact for the other groups, work with the guild, and... Hey.
You done flapping your gums yet? Good, because I stopped listening when I heard the words, "It's too dangerous."
I appreciate that you're worried about us. I really do. However...
We all have our reasons for wanting to go along with you. Mine is to ensure the nuclear devices can never again be used for malicious means.
Marduk considers this crisis to be a matter of grave concern, so it is only logical that I also accompany you.
You said it yourself. I'm not even a part-timer here to begin with, which means you can't order me around. I'm a phantom thief, so I'm gonna steal this show whether you like it or not.
Come on, you guys.
I haven't been stealing my nerves all this time for nothing. I'm not letting anything get between me and my sweet, sweet revenge. Even if you fire me, I'll just hitch a ride with Heiyue instead.
And I'd try to join up with the warriors of Kruga. I would really rather go with everyone here, though. I want to tackle this thing head on, the Spriggan way. Naturally, I would like to accompany you as well. Not just because of the Genesis, though I'll admit that is a factor. More importantly, I feel this conflict is born from the source of Calvard's turmoil, the distortions in the everyday world I know and the underworld. If my feeling is correct, then I must see this through to its conclusion. I recognize this may be a harrowing experience for me, but even so, I am determined to confront the harsh realities that lie in wait. So take me with you, Van. Please.
Agnes.
Wow.
Somehow, I knew it'd end up like this one way or another. Unlucky for you, though, the trouble isn't happening on a weekend or during a school trip. You're gonna have to play hooky.
I know, and I do feel guilty about it. Still, I have a plan in mind, so don't worry.
Starting to think I'm a bad influence. I'll make sure you get paid in advance. That way you'll have a mirror for the bribes and hush money.
I wasn't planning on going that far.
Wow, Van's right. He really is a bad influence on you.
Okay then. Now that we've got all that squared away, mind sharing the location of the base?
Right. We need to know where they are so we can kick their sorry butts.
Very well, then. The base of operations is located in the third largest city in the Republic, as well as its oldest. It is also the place where the terrorists of Calvert get much of their funding. The old city capital, Racian. That is where they have set the stage for their carnival of chaos.
It really is a shame we can't take Marielle with us. At least she's going there with the guild. Better than traveling on her own. Yeah, sounds like they're planning to send a lot of people over to Horacian. Can't think of a better group for the job. Indeed. Helping civilians is what they do best. Meanwhile, we're only getting to avenge that handsome reporter guy. Were you able to get the matter settled with your school, Agnes? Yes, I told them yesterday I would be absent for a few days due to a family emergency. They've always been very accommodating in my family situation, although I've never taken advantage of it like this. I don't think anyone can blame you given the circumstances. It's still a black mark on your spotless record though. Miss Perfect's gonna turn into a Miss Delinquent before we know it. As long as she doesn't sink to Van's level, she'll be fine. I am literally standing right here. You guys sure love to bicker, don't you? What about Miss Bright and your other friends? Have you informed them? Ren already knows. She's going to be helping the guild on this mission. She already left last night, so I expect we'll run into her in Horacian. Makes sense, guessing she had to take some time off too then. Yeah, she told the school that she received an emergency request to return home from the Liberlian embassy. I didn't get a chance to fill in Odette and Albert on what's been happening though. I'll make it a point to apologize to them when we get back. Sounds like a plan. Morning, y'all. Sorry you two have to get up so early on our account. We have to get the bistro ready for business anyway. Though tell me, why is the actress going with you? Oh, I'm going with them to assess the location for my next film. Yeah, that's it. Well, that goes well then. I was hoping Yume would be able to get up and see you off, but it was too early for her. Well, we'll buy her a souvenir or two while we're out, so tell her I look forward to them. Of course, I'll do just that. I'm almost scared to ask why you have to leave for Arassian of all places, especially at a time like this. But remember, I'm holding you to your promise about that souvenir. Take good care of your people, you troublemaking buffoon. If you don't, if even one of them gets hurt, I'm doubling the rent on your office. Ouch, you aren't pulling your punches, are you? Well, I'll do what I can to keep them safe. We'll pick the best souvenir money can buy. It'll put a big smile on Yuma's face, guaranteed. We have not known each other for long, Mr. Zimin, but I can tell you're no ordinary traveler. Please make sure my tenants come back safe and sound. Of course, that's what I'm here for. In return, why don't we go for another round of chess when I get back? And I would not be opposed to having more of the heavenly food of yours too. Nothing would make me happier, especially since our game last night ended in a draw. He's a chess guy, huh?
Wait!
Albert? Odette? What are you two doing here?
Ren texted us. She said the two of you will be absent for the next 3 days. As soon as I got her message, I woke up Odette, and we called a cab and got here as fast as possible.
Most trains aren't running at this hour, so that was really our only option.
Now then, where exactly are you going this early, Off on another thrilling adventure with that scoundrel and his shady entourage? If you keep throwing yourself into danger, one day you'll wind up getting hurt. Or worse.
I'm sorry for worrying you both. I should have told you sooner. I can't promise it won't be dangerous, but I have to do
No! You don't have to do anything. I don't want to lose you. I mean, look at what happened to Cray. I know you put a lot of pressure on yourself because of your family. But if that's your only reason, if you're just risking your life for your dad's sake, then I won't let you go.
Odette. Agnes. I'll admit that I'm doing this in part because of Dad. But that's not my only reason. Ever since I started this job, I've been exposed to people of all walks of life. I've accumulated a wealth of important life experiences. And I felt closer to my mother and grandmother than I ever before through the things they left behind. It's all become just as vital to my growth as our day-to-day lessons at Aramis. I'd even go as far as to say it's become an inseparable part of who I am. So please, don't try and stop me. I'm not just going because of my family or because of what they passed down to me. I'm going because this is something that I have to do for myself.
Agnes.
Whose car is that?
You're certainly up bright and early. About to depart, I take it?
Renee. The hell's he doing here? What? What? Him? That's the guy who's always in the city screens.
Dad.
One must always be responsible when making critical decisions, and be acutely aware of their potential repercussions. I pray you took that into careful consideration when making yours, Agnes.
Of course I did. I am my father's daughter, after all. I fully intend to seize every opportunity to broaden my horizons and learn from my collective experiences. As much as it pains me to admit, I can't promise that I'll return safe and sound. But I can promise that I'll spare no effort to do so. The last thing I want is to sadden you and the friends I love so dearly.
Agnes.
Very well. Make the most of your connections while you're away. The CID is at your beck and call. There are many truths that lie dormant in the gap between ideals and reality. You would do well to seek them out. I will cover for you with regards to your absence from Aramis. You have 3 days, no more, no less. If you exceed that, I will send in the army. That is as far as I'm willing to compromise.
That's more than enough. Thank you, Dad.
I entrust my daughter into your care, Arkwright. You would do well to utilize her services to the fullest. I see you've gathered a retinue of assistants and associates. I am depending on you all to keep her safe from harm.
No need to worry, Mr. Prez. Your girl's in good hands. We may skirt the rules of society from time to time, but we ain't about to break any labor laws.
I too will do all I can to ensure the safety of everyone here.
You have my thanks.
I will give you a call once you reach the city. I shall leave a certain other woman in your capable hands as well.
Always finds a way to saddle me with busy work. Anyway, that president is sure something. Definitely has the looks for the part. But he sure doesn't wear his heart on his sleeve. The guy clearly cares about you, but he just won't come out and say it.
Well, he is a politician at heart. Evading direct answers is what they're good at. Ah, darn it. I had so many arguments prepared, but now they've been blown out of the water. Just come back to me safely, all right? Will do.
If anything does happen, just give us a ring, and we'll be there before you know it. Until then, please look after our friend.
Of course!
Yeah, you got it.
I'm really sorry for keeping this from you all. Your relation to Professor Epstein was plenty surprising as is. I never imagined your father was a huge celebrity too. It was real obvious you were hiding something, but damn, that's a hell of a bombshell. No kidding, I'm still processing everything. I get what you mean. I assume the decision to conceal your surname was made by the government? That's correct. It was part of a program designed to protect confidential state secrets. Claudel was my mother's last name. My real name is... You don't gotta spell it out. I had a hunch you borrowed it from your mom's side, though. Oh, really? It's been 4 years since my mother died now. Before that, even though my father was a politician in the opposition party, he was always just dad to me. But after mom died, and especially after he announced his candidacy 2 years ago, we've been drifting further and further apart. That was followed by the surprise election result that I'm sure you all know about. After that, I enrolled at Aramis under my mother's surname. I wasn't expecting my childhood friends, Odette and Albert, to be there too, though. Dad's remained distant ever since. I suppose that's what led me to becoming so invested in the diaries mom left behind. Which eventually brought me to Van to find the first Genesis. I think y'all know the rest of the story from there. Agnes. So that's how it is. Both my mother and grandmother are still around, so I can't relate to that part of your story. But I can certainly understand being attached to your family's legacy. Oh. Yes, we seem to be much the same in that respect. Just so you know, I don't discriminate, so who your parents are ain't a problem for me. But so long as I'm paying you, I'm gonna be working you hard. I don't need your pops telling me to do that. Of course. I've got your back, Agnes. Man, how did we end up being such a group of weirdos, myself included, I guess. The old man here's got something that draws in people like us. He's not wrong. You know, I can see you all making faces in the rearview mirror like I'm some kind of troubled magnet, right? Especially you, Judith. You don't even work for me. Actually, I made arrangements to pay her commensurate with the services she provides. Say what? I insisted on working for free, but she wouldn't take no for an answer. Oh, come on, Rosette. She's already rolling in cash from all acting work. That Mira was gonna go toward a new body kit for the car. Man, I swear this dude only cares about the 3 C's. Cars, confections, and communal baths. If I ever end up like him, please smack me upside the head. I think you may need to start keeping him on a shorter leash, Agnes. I'll consider it. But the guy got super hearing?